both your dynamic programming and your greedy method. What and all techniques have you learned? Module 2, you learned what is known as divide and conquer technique. And for topological sorting, you learned a technique called decrease and conquer. And in module 3, you came across and learned greedy method. And very last place of greedy method, okay, after greedy method, in very last place, you learned what is known as the heap sort. What is heap sort? Heap sort was all about transform and conquer. So many technologies, so many techniques. Okay, you are divide and conquer, decrease and conquer, greedy method, transform and conquer. Now you are going to learn the last part of it called dynamic programming. Okay, it's not last, it's last in terms of your syllabus, because in module 5 it is again things which is related to your module 1. It will be related like module 1, where you're going to learn lot of different things. Here we're going to go again with a flow. Okay, now what are all things that needs to be kept in mind when it comes to dynamic programming? Okay, just like your greedy method, dynamic programming is also an optimization technique. Now what is the meaning of optimization technique? If you are trying to figure out a maximum of something, minimum of something, that you call it as optimization. Find out my maximum profit. When people talk about profit, they always say, "Arey, yaar, maximum profit only I need." Okay. When people talk about something called loss, they always say, please do it in minimum loss, minimum cost. Can I say like that? Minimum cost. What's the meaning of minimum cost or minimum loss? I'm talking about something. Close this. I'm talking about something that should be minimum. Profit, maximum. I want maximum. So these are known as optimization techniques. Okay, what is the meaning of optimization? When you are figuring out either a maximum or a minimum of something, maximum profit, minimum loss, like that, then you call it as optimization technique. Okay, now in this, what are the things to be kept in mind? Okay, or what are the things to be kept in mind? What are things to be seen here? First and foremost thing is, just like your greedy technique. So what we used to do in greedy technique, we used to go with the flow. What flow? We used to figure out there used to be have steps. Think about prims. Think about Kruskal's, think about Deshectras. Okay, all these things had some sort of a steps. We used to blindly go follow that. Okay, this is step 1, this is step 2, step 3, like that. They used to have steps. We used to keep on following that. In dynamic programming, even though it is an optimization technique, even here we are going to figure out maximum, minimum of something. What we do is, instead of going with the same old steps, going with blindly with some steps, we do, as the name suggests, as you can see very clearly, as the name suggests, dynamic programming will be doing what is known as figuring out, finding all possible solution. That's very important. Find all possible solution. You're going to do all possible solution, and in that all possible solution, what do? You pick the best one. Okay, you pick the best one among all possible solutions. That's called dynamic programming. So you do it everything. What is the meaning of dynamic? Something in motion. Okay, something that is happening every time, and you pick the best one. So that's called as dynamic programming, picking the best solution possible. Okay, in greedy method, you used to have a predefined procedure. Okay, whichever that is, we used to consider as optimal, we used to follow that. Prims, Kruskal, Deshectras, everything. So dynamic, we again go with the same old, optimization technique only, but here we find solution for everything, and then we pick the best solution. Okay, now once we start doing the problems, probably you will understand that what is that thing I'm talking about. Okay, the various problems that are going to come, and you will get to know how these things is varying from your greedy technique. Okay, so what are the problems that you have? The first very problem will be with regard to your understanding of your dynamic programming. So for that, there's a problem called Fibonacci. So what people ask is, when people always talk about dynamic programming, they do it synonymously with Fibonacci or Fibonacci algorithm, Fibonacci program. Okay, why? Because we are going to show you the way of doing Fibonacci using two approaches. Okay, what are the two approaches that you can sort of do using your Fibonacci? That's very important. Okay, first approach, as you must be knowing, is you can do the Fibonacci in two ways. One is recursion, other one is iterative method. Recursion is doing the same thing again and again and again. Second one is iteration, using your for loop, while loop, do while loop, all these things are iterative statements, right? For loop, while loop, do while loop. Okay, these sort of using these statements, we are again finding out your Fibonacci series. Okay, that we are going to do, and we'll be learning about what is the applications of your dynamic programming. Okay, you got lot of algorithms that are going to come. Warshall's algorithm, Floyd-Warshall's algorithm. Okay, such things will be coming, transitive closure, everything will be coming through. And again, just like your Prim's, Kruskal and all, you're going, and using dynamic programming also, you're going to do knapsack problem again. And that knapsack will be a lab program also. Okay, again, heads up to see, yesterday I sent one program because I was little busy. Okay, I think today or maybe tomorrow, because tomorrow will be very much free. Okay, Saturday and Sunday you will be getting all our, the lab programs. Okay, the thing is, constraint is I need to put in as many comment lines as possible in the lab programs. I think yesterday would have seen 1A or 1B. I've sent 1A or 1B. Okay, so that I'll be sending it like that, so that just by looking at the program, you should be able to sort of understand what is it. Okay, that's very important. Okay, so let's sort of look into the most important thing of what we are looking of today. Okay, what I was talking about figuring out our dynamic programming concept using the concept of Fibonacci. So let me write the very important function for Fibonacci. In very simple step, if I write a thing with regard to Fibonacci, this is how it will be. Okay, what is it? Fibonacci series with regard to, if I write it in form of a recursive statement. Okay, it will obviously be like this. If it is 0, 1, I'll just write it. I'll show you what is the value of it. Okay, Fibonacci of, be careful with it, n minus 2 plus n minus Fibonacci of n minus 1. What is it? When n is equal to 0. Okay, when number of terms is equal to 0, you get 0. When number of terms is equal to 1, okay, you got 0 and 1. See, 0 means only 0. The 1 means 0 and 1. Okay, up to n term. Okay, now what is it? Anything more than 1, you use this recursive statement. Fibonacci of n minus 2 plus n minus 1. This is what you're going to use it. Okay, so if I write this entire thing in form of a small function. Okay, if I write it in small function, how do you think it will be? It will be looking like this. Okay, so let me move the screen a little bit. See, today I don't have my pen. Okay, so make sure that you're sort of understanding these things. Okay, so if I write this in sort of a function, okay, how do you think it will be? It will be sort of looking like this. Okay, you got your Fibonacci series of, again, int n. Okay, number of terms n. So if n number of terms is anything, be careful here, less than or equal to 1, less than or equal to 1, that you need to understand. Less than or equal to 1. Okay, what I can write? I'll be writing the n. Very simple. See, if I say number of terms, what is this function all about? This function is all about finding out Fibonacci. You must be knowing Fibonacci series, right? 0, then what's the next thing? 1, 0 and 1, 1, 1 and 1, 2, like this. Okay, this is your Fibonacci series. So if I say n is equal to 1, be careful here, n is equal to 1. Number of terms is equal to 1. What you are going to return? You are going to return that same old thing. Okay, which is 0 and 1. Then if I'm saying number of terms is equal to 2, then 0, 1, 2. See, 0, 1, 1 in fact. Like that you're trying to return things. Okay, if it is anything more than that. Okay, if you are anything more than that, this is how it will be. Okay, I'm going to return same statement only. I'm going to write it here. Okay, nothing new. I'm going to return Fibonacci of n minus 2 plus the same old function. This is a recursive statement. You know what is recursion and all. You have studied recursion 2 places. Second sem and also in third sem. Third sem very detailed you have studied. Second sem only basics only you would have studied, because first CPS very basics. In third sem would have studied in detail in the data structures. You should not be forgetting those things. Okay, always link the subjects. Then only it will be a useful thing. Then only you will sort of appreciate things. Otherwise, if you're studying third sem over, fourth sem now, then fifth sem something else. Okay, if you're doing like that, if you're not linking the concepts, then the subjects will become tough You will not learn anything at the end of 8th semester. Everything will be more like bits of pieces. Okay, that should not be the one. It should be a complete one. Okay, try to link things. Okay, that's how see, the entire world is made up of a theory called chaos theory. You must be knowing everything is interlinked. Okay, the butterfly effect, the chaos theory, everything. Okay, please learn science. You'll appreciate each and everything that's happening. Okay, a small virus that was generated way back in China made you two people to sit in home. Okay, a small virus that was generated in China made you people to listen to the classes online. Okay, where is China? Where is SVC? Lots of distance, but everything is interlinked. Okay, like that, try to link things. Okay, so let me go back. See, this was my function. So if I write this entire thing, okay, be careful here. If I write this entire thing in form of a what? A table, not a table, in form of a tree. Okay, in form of a tree, how I'm going to figure out what is this function all about? This function is all about finding my nth term in my Fibonacci. Okay, if I how to find my nth term using my Fibonacci, this is what I do. Okay, so using this, can I figure out or can I write everything, okay, using a tree? What is a way of doing that? Okay, I can do that entire thing like this. Okay, so Fibonacci, if I want to figure out the Fibonacci series of number 5, which is up to 5 terms. Okay, Fibonacci up to 5 terms. How do you think this will be done? It will be done using this function. What function? The last function. As you can see, n is greater than 1. See, n is equal to less than or equal to 1. We are going to return n. But n is greater than 1 because n is 5. See, n is 5. N is 5 means n is greater than 1. So what you are going to sort of do? You are not going to use this statement, but you are going to use this statement. So what we are going to do? We are going to figure out the value of Fibonacci of 5 using recursive statement. Okay, using recursive statement, we are going to figure out the value of 5. Okay, so let me sort of do that. If I do that, what is going to happen? Okay, first and foremost thing is Fibonacci of 5, right? So what is the way you can write? You can see the same. See, I'll just put it here so that people can sort of see the way I'm sort of doing it. See, what is it? Fibonacci of 5 can be split as n minus 2. N minus 2 matlab 5 minus 2. So Fibonacci of 3 plus Fibonacci of n minus 1. 5 minus 1. Fibonacci of 4. Can I write like that? Yes, I can write neatly. I can write that. Okay, so I write it like this. This will become Fibonacci. Be careful with the handwriting. This is only for today. Okay, from tomorrow, I'm sure you'll be back to my same old. It's not like I'm saying I have the best handwriting and all. Just compared to today, tomorrow will be a better one. Okay, because I don't have a pen today. I'm in college today because we have certain meetings to be done. Okay, again, same thing related to fees and all. Okay, I don't know what needs to be done. If whatever the decision they take, you people need to go with it. Okay, so see Fibonacci of 5. So I'm going to figure out with what is going to happen. This one, this will become Fibonacci of 3, and this will become what? Fibonacci of 4. Where are you getting this? I'm getting it right from here, nothing more. What is this? This is the recursive way of finding my Fibonacci series. Okay, why I'm doing this? I want to talk about dynamic programming. Okay, why people will ask this? This is a standard template to explain dynamic programming. Wherever you go, they will always start dynamic programming now. So you please explain me how Fibonacci series is calculated using the iteration and recursive method. We are doing now recursive method. Iteration method, we'll be doing it later. Okay, see, this is how you found out. Then what's the next step? It will be happening. This Fibonacci series will again be split into 2 parts, right? You are going to figure out Fibonacci of this. What do you think? This will become Fibonacci of 1, and this will become Fibonacci of 2. Look into the the equation here. You will get to know what is I'm trying to do. Okay. Then again you check Fibonacci of 1 will become only one thing now. Fibonacci of n minus thing. So this will only become Fibonacci of 0. Okay. There's no 2 parts here, because there's only one thing that is possible, Fibonacci of 0. Any further split you can do? No, there's no Fibonacci of -1 and all. You start from the 0th term, okay, or the first term like that. And this can be split into again two parts. What are the two parts that you can have? Fibonacci of 0 again. Okay, see, this is 0 and this is with regard to Fibonacci of 1. Okay, so let me go back to the next string. Is there any other split I can do? Yes, I can write it very clearly here. Okay, this Fibonacci of 1 will be again can be split into one more part, which is nothing but this one. Any further steps I can do? No. Okay, same thing can be happening even here also. This is towards the right hand wing of it. Okay, if I write the right wing of it, so what is going to happen? This will become again fib of 2 because you know n minus 2. This will become fib of 3 because n minus 1. This will again become n minus 2, so it will become fib of this will be equal to 2, so it will be 0, and this will be fib of 1. Okay, this will be fib of 3, right? You have 3 here. So this will again be split into fib of 1 year and fib of 2 year. Very important, you need to sort of make sure that you're writing all these things. Okay, now again this will only be equal to fib of 0. This again will be equal to fib of 0 only, nothing more. Okay, this will be two parts. What are two parts? Okay, one is with regard to fib of 0, other one is with regard to fib of 1. This again will be equal to fib of 0. This is what you write. This is what you get. Okay, now if you figure out this, okay, if you figure out this, all these sort of things, you can easily understand one important part here. We are repeatedly, okay, you can see very clearly, we are repeatedly figuring out the values of fib of 0 many places. Where and all we have fib of 0, see? So many places we are figuring out fib of 0. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, same thing with regard to fib of 1 also. What are the number of places you have? You got 1 here, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, you got 5 there. And see this fib of 0 is done how many number of times? Just be writing it very clearly here just to show you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's done 8 times. Okay, fib of 1. What about fib of 1? Fib of 1 is done very clearly. You can see 1, you got 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Okay, you got 5 times here. Then what is the next thing? Fib of after that you got fib of 2. Okay, how many times fib of 2 is done? So let me sort of look into that. Okay, so what is fib of 2? Fib of 2 is done in how many number of places? Let me look into it. So fib of 2 is done 1, 2, any other place? Okay, 3. Any other place that is, you know, you are trying to do it? No. 1, 2, 3. So can I write that? I can neatly write that fib of 2 is done in how many number of places? 2 places. Okay, let me, you know, move the screen a little bit. Okay. Yeah, please zoom in if you can't see. Okay. Now, what is the next thing? The next part is fib of, see, 2 is done. Next is fib of 3. How many times it would have been done? So let me sort of look into that also. Fib of 3 is done in 1. Any other place I can done? Yeah, 2. So it's only done in 2 places. Okay, can write that into here also. It is done in 2 places. Okay, now
Sir,
what's the
fib of
next?
2 is 3, sir.
Fib of 2 is 3. Yeah, sorry. I told 3 only, right? I wrote once again. Yeah. See, fib of 2 is done in 3 places. Okay, now let me move into the next screen. Fib of 4, can you figure out fib of 4? How many places I have done? Only in 1 place. Okay, so I'll write that also. So fib of 4 is done in only 1 place. I'll write it here itself towards the right side. Okay, fib of next one. Okay, see last one, fib of 5. How many times I've done? I've done it in fib of 4. You can see very clearly. Okay, I've done it in here, fib of 4. Is there any other place I've done? No, only one. Fib of 5, only one. So I'll be writing here. Okay, now you just figure out what is it. How many times do we have? How many things do we have? Okay, you got 8 plus 3, 11. 11 plus 3. Okay, so what is it? 11 plus 3, 14. 14 plus 2, 16. 17, 18. So you got total 18 calls that you need to figure out the entire aspect of it. You know very clearly, once you get fib of 0, we can easily figure out the answers. If we get fib of 1, we can easily figure out the answers. Okay, but we got so many calls here, which is close to around 18 calls. Okay, close to up to 18 calls, then we can easily figure out the answers for it. Okay, once you got an entire tree, then later part is all about figuring out the answers for it. Okay, so if you put this into perspective of a what? If you put this in perspective of a time complexity. Now, what is it the technique? First of all, this technique is nothing but top-down approach. Very clear. I'm starting with fib of 5. I don't know what is fib of 5. So I figure out fib of 3. Then fib of 4. Then again 1. Okay, then 2 like this. This is top-down approach. This is a recursive method. It's a top-down approach. Because I know the values of fib of 0, fib of all these things, then I can easily figure out what is the values of it. Okay, so you can see very clearly, see 0, fib of 0, it is 0. Fib of 1, 1, 0 and 1. So this will become 1. Okay, here again is 1. 1 and 1, it is becoming 2. So fib of 3 will become 2. Okay, same thing with regard to 4. You can go right from we come top down, then we figure out each and everything. You get the answers for your fib of 5. Okay, so if you put this entire thing in a form of a time complexity. Okay, in form of a time complexity, how many things it will be done? Okay, how many times you are going to get it? How do you write a time complexity? We write a time complexity always like this: T of n is equal to. What is it? We are trying to figure out this. We are trying to figure out this. We generally don't know what is the values of n minus 1 because we either do it in n terms, n minus 1 terms, n square, n cube, like that only we do because of asymptotic notation. Okay, so if I consider this one, be careful here. If I consider this one instead of n minus 2 as n minus 1 only, then I'll be getting 2t of n minus 1. Okay, 2t of n minus 1 because you can see here, this is if I consider this as n minus 1. So even though this is less than that, n minus 2, okay, it is less than that. If I consider that as a n minus 1, n minus 1, n minus 1, 2t n minus 1. You are going to get the time complexity in terms of big O as big O of 2 to the power of n. Okay, you get it as 2 to the power of n only. This is with regard to if you take this as n minus 1. So can I reduce this time complexity even further? Okay, can I reduce this even further? If I can reduce that time complexity even further, then we can say that that will be a better aspect. For that, what we can do? Okay, what we can do is very simple. We can write what is this entire Fibonacci in what is known as iterative method. Okay, we can easily do it in terms of your iterative method. But before that, okay, before that, what are the things to be kept in mind? Okay, what are things to be kept in mind? The first thing is, let me do this entire reducing of time complexity, everything and all. Why we are, majority of the time is happening here? Where do you think the majority of the time is, getting calculated? When we are figuring out Fibonacci of 0, because we do it many times. Okay, and of course the Fibonacci of 1. We are doing it many times. So majority of the times the time complexity is happening right here, or the time is consuming lot of time right here. So what I can do is, if I have an array, if I take one simple array, okay, and put the values in this using my tree. Okay, using my tree, what is the number of things I can get, or what is the way of I can get? So initially I'll put all the values as -1. Why I'm doing this? Because I don't know the values, so I'm going to put all the -1 values. How many values are there? Up to 5, right? So it starts from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and up to 5. Okay, if I put all the values as -1 like this, what's the next thing that is going to happen? The next thing, as you can very clearly see, okay, if I figure out the values of each and everything right here, using these two, then I can sort of fill up those values. First one, the first value I can easily figure out is what is fib of 0. For that, I can easily go to my table here. Okay, what is fib of 0? Very clearly I have written that fib of 0 is nothing but equal to 0. So I can directly write that fib of 0 is nothing but equal to 0. So this minus 1 now will become easily what? 0. Then you want to figure out what is fib of 1. Fib of 1 I have already written very clearly to be equal to 1. Okay, so these two I know. These two I know, so I can very easily write the fib of 1 is equal to 1. Now I need to figure out fib of 2. I don't know what is fib of 2. Okay, so I need to figure out that. That can be done using my table right here. Where is my fib of 2? I'll just show only those things which are important. Look into this. Fib of 2 can be figured out here using this loop or using this one. Anything is fine. Okay, of course you can have even this one. I can see fib of 2 I can easily figure out using this. For this figuring of Fibonacci of 2, what are things I need? I need fib of 0. I know very clearly fib of 0 is 0. I'll use different color. This is 0. Fib of 1 is 1. Okay, fib of 1 is 1 for me. So 0 and 1, 0 plus 1. It will become 1. Okay, 0 and 1 is nothing but equal to 1. See this 0, 1, nothing but equal to 1. Same thing here also, you can cross check. Fib of 0 is 0. Fib of 1 is 1. 0 plus 1, this will become 1. So can I write very clearly that fib of 1 is equal to 1? Okay, see fib of 2 is nothing but equal to 1. I can easily write that fib of 2 is nothing but equal to 1. So I've written that it is equal to 1. Now next thing is fib of 3. I don't know what is fib of 3. So let me go back and check with regard to fib of 3. Okay, where do you think I have fib of 3? My fib of 3 or Fibonacci of 3 will be coming very much right here in this loop. Look into this. Okay, or the entire loop, this one. Anywhere I can find it. If you find out here, both are same. Okay, for figuring out the Fibonacci value of 3, I need to know the Fibonacci of value of 1. So I know very clearly, I have done it. It is nothing but 1. I need to know the value of Fibonacci of 2 here. I just know only I figure out what is the Fibonacci value of 2. It is nothing but again 1. Fibonacci of 1, Fibonacci of 2. It is 1 and 1, that will become 2. So can write that Fibonacci of 2, 3 is equal to 2. Okay, easily write that Fibonacci is nothing but equal to 2. Okay, see same thing here also. You will be getting 2 only. So I'll go back and put it in my array, the values of it. Now the values you can see Fibonacci of 3 will be equal to what? If we go back and write this is equal to 2. With regard to 4, okay, this what is going to happen? You are going to add this and this. Okay, same thing with regard to go back into the table and look. Okay, sorry, not table, the tree, and look at. Okay, you are going to get this as 3. And there's the last one will be obviously equal to 2 plus 3 equal to 5. Okay, so if I want to write the time complexity of this, before that, what and all we used to add? We used to have the time complexity used to look like this. Okay, T of n is equal to 2t of n minus 1 plus 1. Why this plus 1? Because to combine. Okay, you are combining. See, you are figuring out n minus 1, n minus 1. See this n minus 1, n minus 1. Then you're combining it. Okay, same way like that. But when you go for an array like this, okay, when you go for an array like this, how many calls do you have? You don't have to do everything. Okay, you don't have to do everything. You have to do how many calls you get. See, 0 and 1 is already there. Okay, 0 is 1 is already there. You are going to figure out how many number of calls. Fibonacci of n will be done in equal to n plus 1 calls. Okay, what is that n minus 1 calls? What is n you took? 5. Okay, 5. And number of items to be filled, you can check here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can write 6 as n plus 1? Yes. Okay, if I write this as in terms of n plus 1 calls, the time complexity, you don't have to worry, how you reduce and all. If you got time, you can always sit and reduce. Okay, you can directly write it is in terms of big O of n. This was in terms of big O of 2 to the power of n. This is 0, big O of n. Look at the way it has sort of reduced. using my recursive statement and using my what is known as simple array iterative statements, okay, using an array, how it has sort of reduced. Now we got to know that using array, okay, using array, we can sort of reduce the time complexity. So what we are going to do now is we are going to use the iterative method. What is the meaning of iterative method? No recursive statements here. We are going to use for loop. Okay, we are going to use for loop. It's an iterative statement. Using for loop, we'll figure out what is the way of doing this. Okay, then we'll be deducing what is the dynamic programming in this all about. Okay, so let me write a iterative statement for what is known as a Fibonacci series. How do you think it will be? Very simple. Okay, we're going to start with int fib. Be careful. Okay, so if I write that, it is going to be coming like this. Fibonacci of what is the thing I need to write? I need to figure out Fibonacci series up to n terms. Okay, up to n terms means this obviously will be coming like this. Okay, so int of n. First statement we are going to write is if n value, number of terms, is less than or equal to 1, I'm going to return the same old term. Okay, I'm going to return the same old term, so it is you call it as n. Otherwise, I am going to do this. Fibonacci of 0 is equal to 0. Okay, I'm going to write one more. So Fibonacci of 1 is equal to 1. So let me take my array along with it. Very clearly is saying in the first step itself, Fibonacci of 0 is 0. Fibonacci of one term is equal to 1. The next terms only I need to find out. Okay, see 2, 3, 4, and of course one more is there will be there. So 5. First two terms itself, I'm directly writing it. Okay, then what I do? Obviously, I'll be starting with my for loop. Okay, where do you think the for loop will be starting? The for loop will be starting right here. For I is equal to, where do I start? I don't start with again 0. Okay, that's being stupid. Okay, see, I already put I value is equal to 0 as 0, 1 as 1. So where do you think the I value will be starting? I will be starting from int I. Okay, be careful. It's because I have not defined I there, or you can write I here also, not a problem. Okay, so I'll write the I value to be like this. Okay, so int I will be starting from where? I will be starting from 2 until where? Up to I value will be either less than or equal to your n. What is the n? 5. So 2, fine, it will work. 3, fine, it will work. 4, fine, it will work. 5, also it will work. Up to 5, less than or equal to. So 5 less than, no, equal to 5, yes, it will work. 6, no, it will not work. See, less than also it will not be working, equal to also it will not be working. So it will be working for 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, neatly it will work. This is how you need to write the statements, the conditional statements. Okay, see, you are going to write programs on your own. Okay, very soon. So make sure that if people are learning all these things. Now, where do you start? Fibonacci of, I am going to take this as I. So it will be Fibonacci of I equal to, what is the statement I've already done? Fibonacci of I minus 2 plus fib of I minus 1. Okay, that's the end of it. Then what do you return? You return your fib value of n. Okay, have I done everything here? Yes. See, opening, close, I'm going to close here. I know the handwriting is not that proper, but please understand it's only for today. Okay, hopefully we'll be back tomorrow. Now you see this is what I got. So this is what, and how do you figure out these values? This can be done very simple. Already done with regard to see 0 and 1 is already written. I've written very clearly that what is the value of Fibonacci of 0, 0. Fibonacci of 1, 1. Already written, not a problem. Then I'll start with I is equal to 2. Okay, I is equal to 2. 2 less than or equal to 5. Very much true. So you go inside and do what? F Fibonacci of 2 is equal to f of, be careful here, 2 minus 2, 0 plus Fibonacci of I minus 1. I minus 1 means 2 minus 1. So it is 1. What is the value of f of 0? So look into this value. Look into the table now. F of 0, it's an array. You have studied it in second sem. Okay. F of 0. F of 0 is 0. Plus f of 1. F of 1 is 1. That is equal to 1. So can write directly f of 2 is equal to 1. Yes. Then what you do? You do the incrementation I plus plus. You know the flow, right? It's, first initialization, checking for condition, statement execution, incrementation or decrementation. When you studied for loop, you must be knowing this. Okay, so this return, this was done. Now put the value there. The same thing now, I value will be equal to 3. So what is going to happen? 3 less than or equal to 5. True. Come inside. F of 3 will be equal to, I minus 2. Okay, so 3 minus 2. So this is f of 1 plus 3 minus 1. This is equal to 2. F of 1, what is the value of f of 1? 1. Okay, this is 1. F of 2, check the value of f of 2. It is now again 1. So this value will be equal to 2. Can I go and write it? Yes. Okay, so if I do this, I'm starting with 0. Okay, I'm then figuring out the value of f of n. And what do you call this? You call this as what approach? This approach is known as bottom-up approach. Why do you call you call it as a bottom-up approach? You're starting from 0. Where did you start with in the previous way? Where you wrote it everything in tree format? You started with f of Fibonacci of 5. You started here, then you came here, then you came here, then you came here, then you came here. Like this you did in the previous table. The not table, in the previous tree. This one you are starting right from the here itself. Okay, so this is a bottom-up approach, and it's an iterative approach. You're not using recursion. You're using for loop to figure out the values of your the values of your Fibonacci series. Okay, so what you get it from here? Okay, it's a bottom-up approach, iterative statements. You are able to get it in a very faster way. Okay, this is with regard to dynamic programming. Now, why is he saying about dynamic programming? I told you right at the start of the class. Greedy method, when you go for a greedy method is also iterative, what is called optimization technique only. People will ask you these sort of questions in your interviews. See, greedy technique, optimization. Okay. Dynamic programming, also optimization technique. Okay. What is the difference between greedy and dynamic programming? You need to say greedy method, there's a predefined steps. Prims, Kruskal, Dishectors, everything. So predefined steps. Steps will be there. We blindly follow that. We don't really worry about what is going to happen under. We follow the steps, we get an answer. That steps may be taking a little out of time. We don't worry. Okay, we follow the steps. And what's the next thing I told you? I told you very clearly when it comes to dynamic programming. I told you that very clearly that in dynamic programming, this is also an optimization tech. We don't follow steps here. We do all possible. We find out all possible solutions. Okay, and in that we pick the best one. Did we figure out all possible solution for an example called Fibonacci? Yes. What are the two possible solutions you had? You had an iterative method, and of course you had a recursive method. We figured out that in recursive method, it's taking a longer time. So we did what is known as iterative method, and we said iterative method is the best solution. Dynamic programming came across. Okay, figure out everything, choose the best one. Okay, choose the best one. See, it's like selecting a CR in a class. What we do? Give opportunities to everyone, select the best person. Okay, that's with regard to dynamic programming. What is greedy method? Follow certain steps. Tell them to come here. Then you go there. Then you go. You do this. You do that. And according to that, whoever got the first solution, you will be doing the mazas here. Okay, I'm taking an example for here, but we can't put it all those things in very simple way like this. Okay, so now you got to know what is the dynamic programming possibilities under. So what is the next step? The next step is very simple. Using dynamic programming, there are certain algorithms, just like you had, greedy method, you have prims, Kushal, Dishectors, everything. Using dynamic programming, there are certain steps to be followed.